Listen, when thank y'all. When my brother Jamal gets on the mic, you don't know where it's gonna go, but it's going somewhere that we need to be. I wanna thank everybody so much for being here. I'm a freshman member. I'm Summer Lee. I represent the 12th Congressional District in Pittsburgh, a town that is reeling from one of the worst anti-Semitic attacks in the history of the United States. It's a community that has been in constant grief, not just since October 7th, but much longer, since 10/27 in 2020, or excuse me, in 2018. When I came into this job, I had no way of preparing myself for this, for the crisis of this magnitude, but not just the crisis, but the way that we are received in calling for common sense, a ceasefire, calling for peace, calling for love, calling for our shared humanity to be centered. And when I heard that these rabbis were going to be here, I, like Jamal and Corey, I also had rabbis who had taken issue with our stance. So to be here with these courageous, bold rabbis speaking truth to power is medicine for my heart. Yes. That's right. Because I didn't know a pain could exist like this. But it's a reminder to me that our liberation is tied together. We say it in the tradition of our Black movements for liberation, that our liberation is tied together. So whether we're Black or brown or Muslim or Jewish, Israeli or Palestinian, here we are standing for our collective shared humanity. And it is the highest calling of each and every one of us. Today and every day, we are here together to hold the 1,200 innocent Israelis who were killed by Hamas, to lift up the 250 hostages that we are still, each and every one of us, still fighting to bring home. But we're also here because our hearts are big enough to grieve those lost. I got it right here, don't you worry. I'm a true millennial. That's why I pulled it out in the beginning to come with. But our hearts are large enough to grieve those lost on October 7th, and every single soul since then. We can and we must also grieve the thousands of Palestinian civilians who have been taken from us. Every day, the humanitarian crisis in Gaza is becoming an unmitigated catastrophe. You've heard the numbers, and I will reiterate them because every time we say it, it is meaningful. 11,000 Palestinians have been killed, over 4,300 children. Babies. There are 2.2 million people in Gaza. 1.7 million of them have been displaced. That's 77%. Back in my district, I met a community member who had lost 49 members of his family. I've since met other folks. Another person who had lost 99 members of their families. And that number isn't even unique anymore. Hearing that isn't even unique anymore. There have been full bloodlines that have been erased due to the indiscriminate bombings. Nobody is safe. Critical infrastructure is gone. There are no more universities in Gaza. Houses and churches and mosques, schools and playgrounds, marketplaces and hospitals have been targeted and destroyed. Hospitals. Just yesterday, Doctors Without Borders described the dire situation in Gaza. In the midst of the bombardment on hospital grounds, people are being murdered while waiting for treatment for their wounds that they came with. 3 babies have died in the NICU. There are 36 more babies who are fighting for their lives because there is no electricity, there is no food, and there is no water in Al-Shifa Hospital. This is why we are calling for a ceasefire now. We must understand the urgency of this moment. Rabbis and Jewish community members around the world are saying, not in our name. Not in our name. And my colleagues who are standing with us today are saying, not on our watch. Not on our watch will we stand silently by as our colleagues and the president authorize more bombs to Israel, but Bandaids to Gaza. That's right. Not on our watch will we co-sign what we know is a war on babies. Thank you. This right to defense does not mean a right to kill indiscriminately. This moment is now the movement and the call for peace that we need, a call to center our shared humanity, and we are our nation's pro-peace movement. Yes. All of us who are seeking to build a future where everyone, no matter where they live, has the opportunity to achieve their dreams free from the worry of death and war and destruction. So thank you so much to the rabbis who are here with us today and who welcomed me and our colleagues here. Thank you for your courage and for your strength. I'm committed, we are committed to continuing this fight shoulder to shoulder with you for peace, for human rights, and for the fight against anti-Semitism here and everywhere that we see it, and for the dignity of all people. I don't know who we're calling up next, but let me say, this has been Ayanna Presley. But let me say, we pray for the day where the line to speak is so long, because every single one of our colleagues is calling for a ceasefire, and every single one of our colleagues is calling to protect life, to protect babies. So next up, my sister in service, Ayanna Presley.